into the unknown, down the rabbit hole, where it stops, no one knows. We're going head into the unknown. Na, 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 na.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Good night.
Night. Yeah, I know.
Happy Wednesday.
For Michelle.
Baby
Good
face.
afternoon for you.
Yeah. Afternoon for me. Morning for you, babe. Huh?
Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi Ellie. Hi Peyton. What is the name of the song? I will have to ask Christine because that is all her. That is her beautiful work, and I know she's told me, and she'll be like, "You know the name of the song," and I'll be like, "Yeah, but I don't remember it." So
it is something about a rabbit hole.
No,
like in the actual title, it's like rabbit hole. I promise. Like there's something in the title about a rabbit hole.
Nobody could see you typing for like 24 hours. Well, that's weird. Yeah, no, we'll have to get Christine. Christine's the one who's going to have to tell us that.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe. Sup, Joe.
Sup, Joe. LFT.
Hi, my lovely Shay. Sweet Caroline.
Oh, she's singing this morning too. She's ready.
I'm ready. I know I've been all cooped up because I haven't felt good, so I've been just trying to rest. But
yeah,
it's hard to do as a mom. You don't get a lot of rest when you don't feel good as the mom.
No, especially with littles, you definitely don't.
My LFT. Hi, Jane Doe. Hi, girl. 9 for 9, Sherry. Cement shoes. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you. Court's at lunch. Big day. I was trying to time the live so the court would be at lunch, but I'm still I think I'm about 50 minutes behind on trial. So if there's anything that's like uber duper important that just happened, I've missed it. Hi, Annie. So I just wanted to come on. So since I haven't felt good, I've been kind of cooped up in my house, and I tried to do a lot of researching and catching up and figuring out all the things that I didn't know, and all the things I was asking you guys about before. And I thank you guys in chat and in the comments, for the replay viewers that left me a lot of recommendations on where to go to get as much information as I possibly could in a short amount of time. So a lot of the research, I would say, is like not my own research. It is other people's research that I was looking at. But I watched the HBO Max documentary Low Country. So it's like 3 episodes. They're like an hour a piece. Was really good though. So it's very, very clear that the narrative is that this dude is guilty.
Okay.
And you guys in chat, like I put up the poll so you guys could tell me what you think the jury's going to say. But going into the trial, like I was like, okay, everybody basically says, like this dude's guilty, right? So, but I haven't heard anything yet that I'm like, this dude is guilty. I have not seen this bombshell or heard this bombshell.
Okay.
I can definitely tell that in the narrative of like documentary and like I think it was CNN did one that I watched. Oh, did you, Shay? Okay, so somebody had recommended, I think actually a couple people did, recommended that I watch a channel named Eric Allen. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, I'll grab it and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. or maybe Michelle can. Or
I got you. No, I got it. Mm-hmm.
She's actually probably got the link because I sent it to her, I think, last night.
He's awesome.
I think it's like 8 or 9 episodes. They're like 25 minutes a piece. It was super easy. I mean, I felt like I watched them really quickly.
Yes.
He does a really good job, and he's local, so it's a very interesting perspective. I know he's done other cases. I haven't watched anything else the guy's done, but he does it. And so I thank you guys, whoever was recommending Eric Allen, because I think that he's a must watch, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And then I started watching or listening to the podcast by, oh shoot, I can't even think of her name. Her last name's like Matney, I think it is.
Yes, I started that episode 2.
Are you? I think I'm on like episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Christy. But he's amazing. He did a really good job. I agree.
And he got most of hit. Well, between being a local and then he kind of like followed up from her podcast as well, because he recommends her all the way, like through
So she has like 75 episodes, and they're pretty much an easy watch. There's a lot of commentary at the beginning and at the end that I could kind of do without, but for the most part, they're an easy watch. And it's just called the Murdock Murders Podcast. I think that's what that one is. So she had a podcast and then she uploaded them all to YouTube. So that one's decent. There's a lot of repeated information because there's so many. Hi, Awaken the Art. Hi, Kathy.
Guys.
So that I think I'm on like episode 7 or 8. Maybe 9. I don't know, because I just kind of have it playing through. So I'm like right there in that spot. But there's a lot of repeated info. Watched Low Country last night on Jen Lou's recommendation. Oh, good. Okay.
I want to catch that now. Low Country.
It was good. It was good. So then the Netflix, I was looking for the Netflix one. That one comes out on February 22nd. It's like 3 episodes. There was another one I was going to watch too, and I don't remember what it was. I think it's like on Hulu or something. Somebody else recommended. So I feel like I'm more caught up, and I kind of understand more of where people are leaning. But all these documentaries, and they really do lean towards that he's guilty. I mean, it really kind of pushes the narrative of he's guilty, which is, I mean, typical, because that's what that's what media does anyway. But I'm not there yet.
Me neither.
Discovery Plus, Jane Doe. I think that's the one. That's the Dynasty one? Is that the Dynasty one? Because there's one there's one more that's like 2 or 3 episodes that I need to watch, and then there's a third one that was like 90 minutes that I still have to watch. I have a list. I literally wrote.
Jane Doe. I forgot about that one.
So I know this is trial discussion, but I want to back up a little bit because I should have done this poll first, actually, but it's okay. So we can just do it in chat too. Do you guys, for the boating accident, do you guys believe that Paul was driving and that Paul's at fault? Put a 1 if you believe that Paul was driving, and a 2 if you think that it's possible that Connor was driving. 1 for Paul, 2 for Connor. And I have to blow my nose real quick, so I'm going to stop my camera.
TV Cal, how are you? Oh, I see a lot of 1s. I'm with you guys. With you. Sweet Caroline, how are you? Hi, Rihanna. Shauna T, RJ Guest, thank you. All members. Elizabeth.
Oh, that's all 1.
Julie. All 1s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth, Low Country's on HBO Max. That's where I watched it. Nobody's a 2? Nobody thinks Connor was driving. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Hi, Shmita.
Shmita.
Hi, Julie. Okay, wow, okay. I don't see any. Ellie. Ellie's coming in with a 2. Ellie's coming in with a 2.
Ellie's got the 2. Just saying before the live, I like the way Ellie thinks.
She was like, I like Ellie. Okay, so Michelle, are you a 1 or a 2?
I'm a 1-er.
You think it was Paul?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it was Paul.
I knew you weren't going to be convinced. I like knew this question was happening, and I knew what your answer was going to be already. I knew it.
I think it might have been Connor.
What makes you think though that it was Connor?
Because one, they're all intoxicated.
I like how you break it down anyway. So,
well, this is just how my brain works. So one, they're all intoxicated.
mm-hmm.
Awaken the Art says, I don't know anything, but I'm a 2 with Ellie. Shay, I know. Shay's gonna she's gonna be like, I can't even talk to you after all this murder stuff. So you think it was Connor and they wanted to blame it on Paul. I don't know if they actually have any idea who was driving. It's almost like they were kind of back and forth in this whole like mess of being intoxicated, and Paul's up there yelling at Morgan, and then he comes back, and I think they were like switching on and off driving. I think they were just being like obnoxious drunk, or he was being obnoxious drunk, and Connor was kind of taking the wheel. And I can't, there's no way, just based off of everything I've looked at now, which, like I said, this is not I did not do a lot of my own research on this. So this is just what I've watched and read. I did a lot of reading. That's the other thing. I did a lot of flipping reading. But I'm not convinced. There was some things that happened with, Alec and his dad, Randolph, showing up there. And, it's interesting because like the mainstream documentary side is like, he goes in there and Alec goes into Connor's room and tells him to like keep his mouth shut, and Eric Allen does a good job of pointing out, like, in the context of what's actually said, he doesn't actually say like keep your mouth shut. He says keep your mouth shut, but in the context it's like just don't say anything. Everybody just keep your mouth shut. Like it wasn't just to him. So there's things like that I'm not 100%. I don't know as a juror if I would have been able to convict Paul. Let's see. They think Connor took wheel for a time, but Paul, aka Timmy, started fighting with him. The fact that they were all huddled low during accident suggests Paul was driving erratically. So the one part that really had me thinking that Paul was driving was because if you look at, and then I don't think I have it up. I don't think I pulled it up. But on the boat diagrams that everybody draws, most people are saying that Connor's on the right side. Well, so like they're like the captain's seat, but you actually are driving here. So it says that Connor's over on the right side and that Paul's the one driving. The only thing that I feel like matches that I would be like, I would want to really listen to some evidence on is the fact that Connor's blood, because Connor hurts his face, Connor's blood is on the right side of the boat. So that would suggest that Connor was on the right side of the boat. And if you're driving, you're on the left side of the boat, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing I would want to be able to listen to more on the actual evidence of that. And I wondered if they would do like a reenactment. They didn't do a reenactment of the murders, though, so I highly doubt they would.
I wonder
they were going like 20, I think it was 29 miles an hour when they hit. Yeah. So the other thing is, I think that is interesting is that he has this weird thing that he does with his hands when he's drunk. Did you guys see that? People in chat are like, Teresa, we already know all this. Like, we already knew this stuff going into it. This is just new for you. So he, like, when he's drunk, he, like, holds his hands weird. Like, his fingers separate. So his friend said, like, you could tell he was drunk because his hands were, like, separating. Or his fingers would separate.
Trying to find some pictures on the boat.
Could be hard, right? Because Murdoch's allowed to remove the boat from the scene privately. And they call his drunk alter ego Timmy. He has a name for being for when he's drunk because he doesn't act like himself at all.
Oh, well, okay.
Hi, Mallory. Hi, Connie.
Mallory. Hi, Connie.
Yeah, he goes by a whole other name when he's intoxicated.
He's Timmy.
He's Timmy.
He's Timmy.
I would be interested on where that name actually came from. I'm sure something had to have happened that became like the name, and I don't know that story, but I would like to hear that story. I do wonder if they would have actually been able to convict him on that.
As much as I think he did it, as much as I agree, I don't know if as a juror I could, go full reason.
Just off of what we know. I mean, obviously, more stuff always comes out at trial. All their statements are very odd. Nobody is like, none of them are on the same page, which is, I think, where this whole corruption thing comes in, that Alec went in and told them all to, like to keep their mouth shut and tell different stories or whatever, like to confuse like the jury pool, basically confuse the investigators, and so they wouldn't be able to actually say one way or the other who was actually driving, which is kind of where I'm stuck at. Connie, I'm doing okay. I'm a little stuffy. How are you?
Connie.
Okay, so CB Cal, that they released the audio, but I'm wondering why they didn't do the video. I thought that was interesting, but we're gonna play that too. Okay, so now we've talked about this. You know who I actually really liked in all of those interviews was that Anthony kid. I liked that kid.
The Anthony kid?
Yeah. Mallory Beach's boyfriend. I liked him. He seemed like a good old Southern kid, good Southern boy. I don't think so either. I don't think that. I don't know. Well, hold on. I'm gonna not say that yet. Okay, so here's my next question. My next question is Stephen Smith. So Stephen Smith is the kid who was found in the roadway, dead. And as they started to investigate, half of them were saying that he was struck by a car. The other half were saying no, he was thrown from the car. It was a cover up. Blah blah blah. The rumors started coming out that Buster, who's Paul's older brother, was actually involved in killing Stephen Smith. So now here's my question. Number one, put a 1 in the chat if you think Buster was involved in the death of Stephen Smith. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't.
That's right, Peyton. Nothing wrong. Good old Southern boy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a good old Southern boy. No, yeah. So 1 if you think Buster was involved in the death of Stephen Smith, and a 2 if you don't.
You guys are really going to be schooling me today, so I didn't go that far.
These ones.
Hey, Marshy Marsh.
Hi, Marshall. Marshall coming in with a 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we got CB Kel, Annie. I think that's a 2-2-3-2. Maybe your 2 got stuck. I don't know. I think that's a 2. Marshall is a 2. Shauna doesn't know enough about the Stephen case.
I'm with you, Shauna. Yep. Nothing.
Okay, so this was years prior. I think 2015, if I'm going to have my dates right. It was 2015, and he was found at like 3:30 in the morning by somebody driving down the road, and they call in and just say, hey, there's like a body, basically in the middle of the road, and it's going to get hit. Hi, Frank. It seems like a plot to a movie. I know, it's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So this one I find very interesting because there's literally no proof of a connection besides like the rumors, except what Mallory actually brought up in chat was they reopened the investigation into Stephen Smith, supposedly based on evidence found at the Murdock home during the murder investigation. So they're reopening Stephen Smith's case based on that information. But his mom is basically saying, like, we still don't have any information. Like, after all this time, we still don't know anything. Yeah, so it would have been Buster. The rumor was that they were having a relationship, and that he. Okay, so there was basically three things that I could tell. And you guys in chat, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But the first one was that the coroner was like adamant. Was it the coroner or the pathologist? One of them. Because they disagreed with each other. One of those two, and I think it might have been the pathologist, was adamant that Buster was hit, or not Buster, that Stephen was hit by a car. And that's how he died. But none of his wounds and injuries, nothing supported that whatsoever. So there was like this huge thing with I think it was the pathologist, and that was like, nope, that doesn't make any sense. Like, so the other issue was that the highway patrol ended up being the investigators, but that's because SLED supposedly said, hey, we don't, this is being ruled a hit and run, and this is going to be more your jurisdiction. But then they try to say it's being investigated by the highway patrol because highway patrol doesn't have the ties to the Murdock family that SLED does. Hi, Britt. Hi, Jessica. Just made it. Hello, everyone. Was catching the rest of the trial. Yeah, so I'm like, I was about almost an hour behind. Did I have a dream or hear that Alex may have been Stephen's dad? Okay, so Stephen's dad was that gentleman named Joel, who ended up passing away, I think 3 months. I think the sister said 3 months to the day after Stephen was found killed. It's so many details. I know. Well, this is new to me. That's why I said this is literally other people's research that I've been listening to. I'm not, like I said, I read a lot, but this is not. I did not dig into. I did find Paul's Facebook, which I thought was interesting. He was like a little tiny kid. Hi, Commander Under Turkey. Hi, Ares. So the Stephen situation is just kind of weird to me because I would think that they would be able to find anybody who would know where Buster was at that time, right? And then he supposedly was telling his friends that he was in this relationship with this like well-to-do guy, but he was an older guy. Well, Buster would have been older, but he wouldn't have been that much older than him. So the rumors kind of went to that he was having this affair with this older man who was like more distinguished. So here's my issue with the affair with this more distinguished older man that's like wealthy, and everybody's like mind is going to be blown when they figure out who he's having this affair with. The New York. I'm going to say your name wrong, aren't I? Yamil. I want to say the New York, but there's no E there. Well, hello and welcome. I'm glad that you be right back. Okay. I miss you too, Britt. I'm sorry. I've just felt like yuck. I'm unsure how connected it personal. Okay, so here's my thing. If he's having an affair with Buster, right? When Buster's like uber wealthy, his family has a lot of money and he has access to a lot of funds. Why is Stephen hooking up on the internet for cash? Maybe somebody in here can help me understand that. Because if like you have this secret guy, like wouldn't you could fund him so he's not hooking up with other guys on the side. I'm waiting to see what your answers are. Cut? What's cut? Oh, cuz. Okay. But that's what I'm trying to figure. But so he's just okay with that, like, and so they're not actually in a relationship. Then is kind of what I think that's. I think it is too. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, if they're in a relationship, typically then your wealthy person would be like kind of supporting you so that you don't have to go and do all these other things. So it doesn't make sense to me that he would still be doing these other things if he's in a relationship with this guy. who has all this money. An open relationship? Maybe, but tell me how many times you guys have seen like the wealthy guy just says, I'm going to be in a relationship with you. Yeah, but you can go out and do other things whenever you want to. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. That was my big question for that. The other part is, like I said, I think that it would be really easy to be able to figure out where Buster was at the time this happened. And because Buster the Murdaughs don't want it out or people to think Buster had that kind of relationship. Well, I get that, but this is when your secret lover comes in, right? Wouldn't you put him up in a room? Maybe I just am thinking. You guys tell me another way to think of it. Then Buster doesn't want his family to know, and there could be a money trail. Yeah. Brett, thank you, honey. Connie, you miss being green. Hi, Ashley. Okay, so most people think that Buster is somehow involved with the Stephen Smith situation. So have you guys heard that whole thing about the farm that was like by there and the guy Sean and Patrick? Have you guys heard that theory? You think it was the old man Buster? Old man was known for taking problems out and used as crab bait. Oh, you think it was old man Buster, CB Cal? Yes, Peyton. There's an old man Buster too. Well, so there's generations of this, which is everybody's always kind of said like there's a lot of there's generations of the Murdaughs having control in Hampton County basically as the solicitors, and it's like great grandpa started in like 1920 as the solicitor. But was grandpa a buster or was that great grandpa that was a buster? I'd have to look that back up. You don't think they had any kind of real relationship, but you do think they were involved. Julie Dunn, welcome to my world right now.
See.
Okay, so then I have, before we move on to the next question I have, do you think that Buster was alone with Stephen, or do you think that him and his friends went and did something? So 1 for Buster alone, 2 for him and his friends. Buster has a girlfriend currently, yes. They have like a lab, I think, a dog, I read. Yeah, I think it's great grandpa. Oh, so Mallory says grandpa. Marshall's. Okay, we'll have to look that one up then. Okay, so 2, his friends. Oop, Jane Doe says by himself. Shining White Light. Yep, I was talking about him at the beginning of this. He does a fantastic job.
Yep. It's okay, Connie. I'm with you, babe.
That's what I thought too. I was thinking it would be great grandpa. Great grandpa was Buster. He was the one that people said was like he was like scandalous. He was like a scoundrel. But he was already dead then. So it wouldn't have been great grandpa. And Randall, I don't think so. They're all Randalls. So there's Randall I think there's actually, I don't know if there's a 5th, but there's definitely Randall the 4th. Randall the 4th. Randall. Why could I not say which one it is right this second off the top of my head? As the brother of Alec. And then supposedly there's the rumor that the great grandpa, who was the one that was the solicitor in 1920. So the solicitor is the prosecutor. He got into some trouble and actually drove his car in front of a train. Have you guys heard that? I was like, back in the day. Back in the day, Dave and Buster's.
Oh, wait, I think Alec teaches us something.
Yeah. My theory is it was unplanned, but saw him in hate crime sort of feel an affair is not probable. So I wonder if it was a hate crime or if it was, a fight between people who actually knew each other and they needed to get rid of him. Randolph Buster Murdaugh died in 98, father of Randolph Murdaugh III, who is the father of Alex. Thank you, Mallory. Yes, he's the one that died on the 10th. Alex's dad died 3 days after the murders. Okay. You covered a history? Okay. Okay, so then my next one is, let's talk about the housekeeper, Gloria. Hi, Roxanne. Okay, so Gloria was the housekeeper for 20 years, basically took care of the boys. They kind of even refer to her as like a live-in nanny. She supposedly falls and hits her head on the brick steps, and Maggie calls 911. Paul ends up on the phone being obnoxious, and it's ruled an accident. During the 911 call, there's nothing mentioned about the dogs, but later on it's said that one of the family dogs tripped her and she tripped and hit her head on the brick steps. So I'm curious to know, one, the Murdaughs were involved in her death, or two, it was an accident. So as you guys are putting, one, they were involved, two, it was an accident. So then, we're already going with the ones. So we know that after there was the insurance scam with I think he ended up pocketing about $3 million. Well, him and his buddies pocketed about $3 million from a like $4.5 million life insurance, not life insurance, his insurance for his property, because he suggested that they use his buddy Corey Fleming, the attorney that he was college roommates with, that they use him to get an insurance payout. Because it happened on his property and it was his dog that tripped her. So then Corey gets them this settlement for like $4.5 million, and after all the fees and stuff are paid out, it's like 2.9, I think. Alec, they're supposed to use this a firm that's called Forge, and what they end up doing is they take the check from the insurance and write it to the company Forge, but then Alec goes and opens an account, which is Alex Murdock doing business as Forge. So they deposit the money straight into Alec's account, and then they split it up. And it's like almost $3 million worth. Then they don't tell Gloria's children or family that there was ever even a settlement or there was any money. So the family receives nothing.
Hey, Angela. Thanks for catching us. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry. Hey, Angela. They didn't care about the housekeeper. They didn't even know her age. Do you think he planned to steal her money right away? Looks like my shot turned into a question mark. Narcissists are crazy. That's factual. So Mrs. Troy, Tori, Marshall, Hills 65. You guys think accident. Everybody else thinks that they were actually involved in it. Huh. I think that it. I don't think it was done on purpose. I'm a 2. I don't think it was done on purpose. I think that he saw an opportunity because he was an opportunist and he took it. And that's how he got the money. What I didn't know, because I knew all the financial stuff, or not all the financial stuff, but I knew that part. But what I didn't know was that the family of Gloria didn't actually even learn about the policy until after Paul and Maggie's deaths, because some journalist or internet sleuth pulled the records and was like, this is like how much money he, this is how much money he, or these are the families that he's like helped. And then they came forward like, what are you talking about? We've never even seen a penny of that money. So they didn't know until after the murder. So how much stuff, and if they did find evidence of something that happened with Stephen Smith, or any evidence or anything that would help with the Mallory Beach case, then I'm wondering like how much of Paul and Maggie being murdered actually like uncovered all of this other stuff. She supposedly tripped up the stairs, then said she fell because of the family dog. So did she fall down or trip up? That's why I believe it wasn't an accident. Well, that's interesting because yeah. So in the 911 call, it says she was walking up the stairs and fell. And I'll be honest with you, I've done it. You can trip up the stairs. So awful. He did this to a young man who was in a car accident and a paraplegic. His family had nothing beforehand. So cold, diabolical, says who he is and what he would do. I think there's a big difference, though, for financial crimes versus actually murdering somebody. So this is where I'm wondering. I don't know. That's a leap for me. I do know that people will do anything to keep their money and to hide their crimes. So, and Joe says, my nephew tripped up the stairs yesterday. Hi, Chris. There are far too many accidents and dead people around this family for it all to be a coincidence. They also seem to be involved with illegal money transactions. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Heather, I like Heather's comment.
So they filed a lawsuit on September 15th, 2021. They've gotten some of the money back, apparently, but none from Alec. They got money back from I can't think of the position that they're called. The person that was supposed to be like dealing with the financial part of it, like the liaison. I can't remember the title of what they are. And from Corey Fleming, the other attorney. But they haven't gotten any money from Alec, who probably has the majority of it. Mm-hmm. It's probably gone. Yeah, definitely a reference to his character. I absolutely agree. I've tripped up the stairs too, causing head trauma where I'm bleeding out of my ear. There's more force there. Yeah, that's true. I'll say for... How old was Gloria? Does anybody know how old Gloria was? Let me look it up real quick. Gloria.
LFT knows everything. I love this.
So did she say 50? 50? Oh, 50. Okay, so everybody's saying 58. On here it says 57. So, but close enough. Okay. I was gonna say because the older you get, you can be a little bit more trippy.
Right, Joe, with you. No clue. He's just clumsy. Joe's on a roll today.
She could have been carrying something. I don't know the details to that. Fell down front steps of a house leaving, not sure. Well, in the 911 call, it says she fell up the stairs. I'm almost positive.
LFT is saying got her death certificate. I'm assuming she means she has her death certificate, or...
Oh, probably. She probably does. But Alex was named in the lawsuit with Paul, and his wife saw a divorce attorney. So he was about to lose a lot. I believe he did it. So this is a great question. That's a great question. Let's see where the survey's at right now. Or the poll's at. Right now we've got 64% of you guys think that he's going to be found guilty. Up 63%. Somebody else just voted. 8% not guilty, and 29% hung jury. I feel like a hung jury. If I was voting on this poll, that's what I would be thinking too. I'm thinking that so far, we have obviously a long way to go. We have a long way to go. They said this trial could take up to 8 weeks. I don't know if it would, but there's still a ton of testimony. Tori, you picked hung jury. LFT. I have a lot of obituaries and a lot of death certificates of people that I have no idea why I have them. It's just how it goes. Joe, you can see it. I can, yeah.
I just love, I mean, like LFT is on this case. Like she has things from like literally when it first started. I'm so thankful to her for all of her info.
Heather Bratt. She said, if I'm tripping up on the stairs in my 30s, I'm screwed. Okay, so far, the majority of people think that Paul was driving the boat. The majority of people think that Buster had something to do with Stephen Smith's death. The majority of people think that the Murdaughs had something to do with Gloria's death as well. So I think we can already. I think everybody can already knows, and we can already just say yes. He is. He has extorted a ton of money from his clients. I don't think that's even a question at this point. But I think that there's, what was there, like 75 or 95? I don't remember what it was. Charges on for his financial frauds. Connie said she trips up the stairs before. It's not fun. Okay, so here's my last one. Well, maybe not the last one, but here's the next one. Did Alec kill Maggie and Paul? 1, yes. 2, no.
I can't say.
That's why you guys are typing that. Joe, they said 300 blackout so many times.
Literally.
So many times that I felt like it was, I don't know if you watched the Johnny Depp trial, but like where the attorney was asking like Johnny Depp over and over again, did I read that correct? Did I read that one right? Did I read that right? And Johnny Depp's like, yes, you did. And yes, you did. And yes, you did. I was like, blackout 300, blackout 300, blackout 300. Okay, I got blackout 300. Ooh, we've got some not guilties in here. Tara doesn't think he's guilty. Hills doesn't think that he's guilty. You're gonna change your name to 300 blackout. Tori said going into trial, yes, for sure. Now I'm not sure. Oh, Tara's a 2, but because she got somebody else to do it. Got you. 1, but hired a hitman. Okay, a few of you guys are going with that. I think he hired somebody, Jane Doe said. Where was my other not guilty? Hills. Hills says not guilty. Hills, are you thinking not guilty, or are you thinking not guilty because he hired somebody else to do it? Heather says, I'm on the fence until all the evidence comes out. Ellie's a 1 too. A 1 as well, I should say. At the very least, he knows who did it. Ooh. I do, but not enough evidence to prove it so far. I was sure yesterday in watching video of him in first interview. Ender Turkey says, I don't know enough about the case. Ender Turkey, don't worry, your skills are about to come into very good use here. I count on Ender Turkey to hear all the audios that are like far away.
Here we go.
I think he did her paid cousin Eddie. I think it was Dad, Mom's, and Paul's voice on that recording we heard today. Mr. Murdock stated he was never there. A Snapchat video is going to be hard to explain if the jury believes it's Alex's voice. I agree. So as we talk about it, his 300 blackout rifle was pretty nice though. Well, it seems like Paul's first one was pretty nice. His second one seems like it was more basic, but I'm interested in your thoughts on that. Okay, so let's play. Dun dun dun. Where do I have it? There it is. I'm like, where do I have it? I have it somewhere. Okay, so I have not listened to this on my computer, so maybe it'll actually change the way I feel about it. So, for context, Alec told officers in his police interviews that he saw Maggie and Paul at dinner. They went to go do what they were going to do. He went to basically ended up taking a nap and woke up at 9. There's some other stuff that happens before that, but the last time he says he saw them was at dinner. He says he sleeps till 9, gets up, they're not there, so he calls. He's going to go check on his mom because she's got Alzheimer's and she's at the house alone because dad's in the hospital. Which I don't think is odd. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's odd. I think I told you guys this last time, because Alzheimer's patients and dementia patients, they struggle at night. They have a lot of anxieties, and so it's not uncommon for people to be checking on them at night. So now Maggie and Paul were down at the dog kennels. Well, here's the thing: is there's this video, which we didn't see the video today. We heard the audio, which is what I'm going to play for you guys. We heard the audio of Paul talking because he's supposed to be taking a picture of a dog so they can figure out what they're going to do to fix this dog. There's something on the tail or something along those lines. And people say that you can hear Maggie and Alec in the background on this video. So I'm going to play it. If you guys haven't heard it, it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. Okay, you guys can see that? Yep, sundowners. My dad gets it really bad. It's sundowner syndrome. Hi, Dolly Bear. Wasn't up all night and she hallucinates. Definitely got to keep an eye on her. See, yep, it's my dad. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna mute.
Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick. Get up.
Hey, he got burgers now.
Hey, Apollo.
There's a kitty.
There's a chicken. Come here, Cash. Cash. Quick.
Okay, so first go around. Hi, ATS. Hi, you should have gone in, Chris. So, I guess I'm struggling to hear 3 voices is kind of my issue. Do you hear 3 people?
Why don't we do one more time?
Well, okay.
Do one more time.
We'll do it one more time. We'll probably do it a couple more times. But we'll say one more time every time we do it.
Get up. Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick. Get up.
Hey, he got burgers now.
Hey, Apollo.
There's a kitty.
There's a chicken. Come here, Cash. Quick.
Okay. So, where do you hear what is each person saying? If you hear 3, what are they saying? Is Alec supposedly the one that's saying what sounds like Bubba, but further back? Because obviously Paul's very close to the mic. Hi, Max 2002. Hi, True Crime Crazy, Jules, Diddy. You guys all hear 3. Okay, ATS, let me see. Yes, first voice, I think it's Paul. Then I hear Maggie, then Alec. Okay, you should have gone to the game, but he said 3. Okay, I feel like I'm I don't know why I can't hear the third one.
I can't make out all 3, but I definitely hear Alex for sure.
So you think that's Alex in the background that's saying I think they said that's a guinea. Is it a guinea, like a bird? Like a I think he says guinea, but I'm not. And then Paul says, "No, that's a chicken." Okay, here we go. We're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
You hear 2 different male voices. You know what I should do is I should let me find Gloria's 911 call, so that way you guys can hear Maggie's voice.
That would be good.
Let's see.
Right, ATS. Yes. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, Marlena, how are you?
Okay, hold on. Let me bring this one over here.
Right, D'Andro. Exactly. I don't know much about this case, but just hearing that video, you're right. You can pair that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the 911 for Gloria, and Maggie's the one that makes the call.
911, where's your emergency? 4147 Moselle Road. Okay, can you give me the address one more time, make sure I got it right? Yes, 4147 Moselle Road. Okay, what's going on out there? I'm sorry? What's going on out there? My housekeeper has fallen and her head is bleeding. I cannot get her up. Okay, you said she's fallen. She's bleeding from the head? Yes. Okay. How old is she? I'm not sure, like 58 maybe. Do you know if she fell from standing or not? No. No. Where'd she fall from? She fell going up the steps, up the brick steps. Okay, so she outside or inside? Outside. Okay. How many steps is there? 8. Okay, is she on the ground or is she up near the top? She's on the ground. She's on the ground. She's on the ground. Is she conscious? No, not really. Is she awake at all? Yes. Okay. Is she just not like responding appropriately, but she is awake? Man, she's not responding. Okay, I've already got them on the way. Me asking questions does not slow them down, man. Knowing if she's conscious is one of the things that the medic needs to know if she's responding at all to you. No. Okay, so she's not responsive at all. Well, I mean, she's mumbling. Okay, so she is somewhat conscious. Is she breathing okay? Yes. Is she bleeding from anywhere? Yes, her head. Okay, are you guys able to control the bleeding? No. Can you put a clean rag or anything on it? Yeah, I got it. Okay, is she bleeding from like her face, the back of the head? I've got an ambulance coming. Sir, my name what? Where exactly is she bleeding from on her head? I'm not sure, at the top of her head. Okay. What's it okay? Oh, gosh. What happened? She just fell back down. Can I get off this phone so I can go down there? Can I have your name and phone number? Or are you able to bring the phone down by her? What? Are you on a cell phone where you can walk down there and talk? I'm on a cell phone. No. Okay, can you bring it with you so we can ask her some questions about what kind of pain she's having? Hello?
Yeah. Can you ask the patient what kind of pain she's having?
Ma'am, she can't talk.
This is when Paul
Okay.
takes the
Do you
phone.
know?
She's cracked her head and there's blood on the concrete and she's bleeding out of her left ear.
Okay, she's bleeding out of her ear.
And out of her head. She's cracked her skull.
Okay. All right. The other lady said that she had tried to stand up and fell down again.
No, I was holding her up. And
Okay.
she told me to turn her loose and she was trying to use her arm, but then she fell back over.
Okay. Do you guys know who she is?
Yes, she works for us.
Okay. Do you know if she's ever had a stroke or anything before?
Ma'am, can you stop asking her these
I
questions?
already have them on the way. Me asking questions does not slow them down in any way. These are relevant questions that I have to ask for the ambulance. One of my questions is, has she ever had a stroke?
I don't believe she's ever had a stroke now that I know that.
Okay. Okay. Is she able to talk to you guys at all, or is she unconscious now?
She's not unconscious. She's just mumbling.
Okay.
I believe she's maybe hit her head and maybe has a concussion or something.
Okay.
Maybe.
Do you know what her name is?
Gloria Satterfield.
You said Sanderfield?
Ma'am?
You said Sanderfield?
Satterfield.
Satterfield. Okay. What's the house look like out there?
It's offset off the road.
Okay.
It's a big house, got a wide driveway.
With a long driveway?
Yeah,
Is there a gate or anything down there that they're going to need to come through?
There's two big brick columns that have to come through.
Okay, but there's no, like, gate code or anything that they need?
No, ma'am. And tell them that they can look for a fellow on a 6x6 Ranger.
Okay.
Waiting on them in the road is green. You know what they probably know what the Ranger looks like.
Yeah. You said, like,
Fella's
green.
got on a black sweater, a
Okay.
hat, and pants.
Okay. All right.
All right.
If something changes with her, if she loses consciousness or anything like that, I need one of you guys to call me back right away, okay?
Okay, well, how long is it going to take? Because this pick up...
That I don't know. I've had them on the way since Maggie first called me. They were toned right away.
Okay.
All right, but I think they're coming. Hang on 1 minute. Let me check. They're coming from somewhere on Belt Highway in Ruffin, okay? That's where their station is.
Thank you.
All right, but like I said, if something changes, call me back.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a good idea of their voices. So let's try this. We're going to try this one more time. They don't sound concerned. They sound annoyed. I don't. So this is in 2018.
And Annie said they never visited her in the hospital. I mean, look at everything that woman's done for them. Help them raise their kids. It just...
It does says they went like 2 times to visit her in the hospital. I don't have the answer to that. This one sounds like an accident to me. It does sound like an accident. It sounds like they drive down to the end of the street, so that's why she needs to get off the phone, which makes sense that she's leaving and going to the end of the street to wait for them. It seems that they seem annoyed.
They're very annoyed.
Her name was Gloria Satterfield.
Right.
The thought process is, though, that she knew or heard or uncovered too much information and needed to go. The other theory is that they did it on purpose to collect the life insurance. Okay, so now I'm going to play this again now that you've heard her voice and his voice. Yeah, they've reopened her case. You got Stephen Smith cases reopened. You got her case that's reopened.
And Tara, yes, her name was Gloria Satterfield.
I do find it interesting how many times that the 911 operators in this area have to tell the caller, like, their people are coming. Not life insurance. I keep saying life insurance, and I'm going to have to put a disclaimer at the bottom of this. It's not life insurance. It is his homeowner's insurance. It's from his property. He has insurance, and so they actually, he recommends that they get a settlement from his insurance to cover stuff like that. It's not, no, see, please do not take, they do not have life insurance. I don't know why I keep calling it life insurance. It's not life insurance. And that is, I totally screwed that up. It is his insurance from his property that he suggests that they basically sue his property because it's insured, and then they'll get paid. Because the accident happened on his property, and it was his dog that supposedly tripped her. But you just heard the 911 call. Nobody mentions a dog. You know, people are going to be like, Teresa over in Criminality's out here telling people that there was life insurance on the housekeeper. Please don't do that.
I can't. I had to mute because I was laughing so hard. I'm like,
I can't. I do that and I screw up and I get really mad at myself. I can't stand it.
and I don't know enough to even correct you. So here we are. Just
Man. Yeah, the money was supposed to be given to the sons. Correct. Wrongful death lawsuit scheme. Correct.
We're
It's
laying
an
against it.
insurance scheme. I just need to stick with insurance and get rid of the other part. Okay, so we're going to listen to this one again so that you guys can hear. So try to pay attention to what you think the other parties are saying. Not Paul, because Paul's obviously right next to the phone. So tell me who you think is saying what in the background. Accident insurance for workplaces. Yep, there you go. That's a good one too. We're going with insurance. If I say life, just smack me around.
Get up. Quick cash. Quick. Get it.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, brother.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Come here. Get it. Quick.
What time is that video recorded again, Lieutenant Dove?
Okay, so sounds like that's Maggie that's saying he's got a bird in his mouth. That's a guinea. And then Paul replies, nah, that's a chicken. And then the third voice would be Alec in the background saying, Bubba. Did Alex say Billy Bob? The last few minutes of their life there, yeah? You guys think that's, am I hearing it correctly then? Michelle, what are your thoughts here? You don't have any? Good to hear. All right, I'm going to do it again.
Get up. Get up. Quick cash. Quick. Get it.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, brother.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Come here. Get it. Quick.
What time?
Okay. You guys hear that? 3 voices, 2 male, 1 female. As I'm playing it over and over, I'm starting to hear that myself. Now that I went back and listened to Maggie's voice, I'm hearing her say, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Yeah, it's a bird in the mouth. That's a guinea. That's a
guinea.
chicken.
And then Paul says, "No, it's a chicken." And then you hear Alec in the background or another male voice. Said Billy Bob let it go? I thought it said Bubba let it go.
Right now, I thought I heard Billy Bob.
Canadian Wolverine, seriously? That is awesome. The antifreeze trial, it was a retrial because a long story, but yeah, so guilty verdict in. Thank gosh. Bubba. Like Baba? Okay, hold on. We're going to do it one more time. See, I told you I'm just going to do it over and over. I'm going to keep saying this one more time.
Maybe it's the chicken's name.
Well, I think that he's the one who's saying, like, good. Paul says, good catch. And then Maggie says he's got a bird in his mouth. And then Alec in the background is saying, Bubba. I think the dog's name's Bubba.
So Bubba's the dog. And Billy Bob, maybe the third voice.
I think the dog's name is Bubba because you hear Paul say it too. Hold on, we're gonna do it again.
Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick. Get up.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Murdock.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Catch. Quick. Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick. Get up.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Murdock.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Catch. Quick.
What time is that video recorded again?
Okay, so I hear the three voices. I hear two men and a woman. My question is that other man's voice Alec's voice? It sounds pretty deep.
Oh.
Do it, Ella. Put it in there. Where's Ender Turkey? Ender Turkey. You hear the dog huffing? I hear that too. But Paul says good catch, which would mean that whatever is in his mouth, Paul just gave him, right?
Or he means good catch on catching the whatever.
Catching the bird?
Yeah. Because you hear the other person say quit it, like maybe they're trying to get it to drop it from its mouth. Like that's kind of what I, when my dogs catch things.
I heard Buster also.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again. I know people are gonna be like, why are we listening to it over and over? But this is what we're gonna do for a minute.
Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick. Get up.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Did he just say Buster?
What?
Did he just say Buster right before that?
Yeah, let's back it up.
He's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Murdock.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Catch.
will be 4 Maggie.
Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick.
Hey, you got burgers now.
Hey, Murdough.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Come here, Cash. Quick.
What time is that video recorded again, Lieutenant Dove?
Here I am talking, you guys can't even hear me. I do hear Buster. Who's saying Buster?
Quick, Cash. Quick.
Hey, you got burgers now.
Get up. Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick.
Right there. Does he not say Buster?
That's what I think I hear him saying.
I do have a video of Buster.
And first tonight at 6, after a Freedom of Information request, ABC News 4 got calls Alec Murdock made from the Richland County Jail.
And there are a lot, 121 calls to be exact, from October of last year till February. Our investigative reporter Ann Emerson is here tonight to give us an idea of what was on Murdock's mind after the death of his wife and son.
Well, one moment that stood out, Alec asked his sister-in-law to lay flowers at Maggie's grave for Valentine's Day. We also hear Alec's attempt to stay in touch and perhaps in control of his remaining family. And tonight, we take a listen to calls on October 21st, 2021 and October 23rd, when it appears Alec knows he's about to lose everything.
Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center.
On October 21st, 2021, Alec Murdaugh called his brother, John Marvin Murdock, and his son, Buster. They were on a trip to Nevada, now made notorious by this photo of John Marvin and Buster at a Las Vegas casino table. It ended up as an exhibit in court against Alec Murdaugh. Alec called his family to warn them.
In court the other day, they made a big deal about things. They're going to be moving to try to prevent us from selling stuff. Right. We need to get as much as we can completed.
On the call, John Marvin suggests selling some of the farm equipment to pay off some of Alec's debts, but says it must be done on the up and up.
You might speak to Jim if you get a chance, just to find out what kind of time frame he thinks before they get any kind of order preventing us from doing anything.
Okay.
And I mean,
well, I'm just doing everything by the book, and
yeah, and it's going on bank. It ain't like we're squirreling it away. It's going to pay bank stuff.
Well, it goes to the unsecured note. So,
so this is
everything else has something securing it. So it makes sense that unsecured items would go to an unsecured note.
2 days later, the wheels are already in motion to freeze Alec's assets by the state, money to pay back Alec's alleged fraud victims. Alec calls his son Buster. It's October 23rd. Buster is still in Nevada with John Marvin.
New developments with the nations and everything, trying to get us to quit selling stuff. I don't know really what that's going to have in store.
Yeah, I told y'all that was coming.
Yeah, man, this Eric. This Eric dude.
That I said that was coming?
No, I just saw it on Twitter.
No, I called John Marvin the other day to tell him he needed to do it as quickly as possible because they were going to be doing it any day, making a motion.
So this Eric Bland guy seems like a real charm.
Well, this is just 5 minutes in the sun,
Eric Bland is the lawyer for Gloria Satterfield's.
Okay. The voice on here just sounds so much deeper. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm still there with him, but
some people have claimed that Buster was there. Other people say that he was back at school and he was not there. And Buster might be the friend's lab. Huh.
There are multiple dogs on property, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, would it be far-fetched to name one of their dogs or neighbor's dog, Buster, and then Buster being the son? I mean,
it could. Or the other thing I'm wondering is, like, if he's, like, upset that Buster was supposed to do something and didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, damn it, Buster. Like, why didn't you fix whatever? Or why did you put X, Y here instead of over there? You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's do it again. This will probably be one of the last times.
I'm curious where Buster, like, originated from. Like, why they called him Buster.
It was
like
nickname.
The son. Like, is that like a name used in like inside the family? Like, like you little sucker, you little Buster.
Oh, like get back, Buster. Ah, I sort of busted. Okay, let's try it again. I don't know if Ender Turkey's still here, but see, I told you this is where your expertise comes into play. Glad I could help you here, Buster. Okay. Hmm.
Get up, get up. Get up, get up. Quick cash. Quick. Get up.
Hey, he's got burners now. Well,
Hey, Apollo.
there's a guinea.
There's a chicken.
Come here, Mama.
Come here.
Come here, Mama.
Catch. Quick. Quick cash. Quick.
Right there.
Now, is it busted or busted?
I don't know. Hold on. See, he says Buster. Busted. Hmm.
Hey, he's got burners now.
See, I can't tell. But then, down here, hold on, let me keep playing it because then you hear the third voice. Right there's the third voice.
There's a chicken.
Come here, Mama.
Come here.
Come here, Mama.
Catch. Quick.
It says, "Come here, Bubba. Come here, Bubba." That's the third male voice, or that's the third voice. Can I slow it down? I don't know if I can. This is on Twitter. I could probably do it if I grab the version that's on YouTube.
You could tell he's definitely more like, he's definitely further away from them, that third voice, especially in the beginning. He must be walking in as it's happening.
Buster is supposed to testify he was supposedly not there. He's taking the Snapchat. He's supposedly recording it so that he can show whatever is on this dog's tail to see about getting it fixed. Hold on. I'm going to do it one more time again. Sorry, I know.
No.
Get up. Quick, Cash. Quick.
Hey, you got burgers now.
Hey, brother.
It's a guinea.
There's a chicken. Come on, Cash. Quick.
Okay. Shmita, my son. How many times are you going to listen to that? Like, why are you listening to that over and over and over again, Mom?
We need to know names, things, and things.
I do. I hear him say something, bust something.
Yeah.
And Buster he's actually set to testify on both the prosecution and the defense's witness list.
Maybe
as
like
many times as I watch all those little shows that you guys watch, and I literally start to know all the words to every show that my little one listens to. Yeah, I'm like, how many times are you going to listen to that? Telling Buster to get the chicken. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That voice sounds way deep for Alec. No, he's got such a distinct voice but I mean, I want to hear him like kind of yell like that. I wonder if there's anything out there. He just doesn't. His voice is just not that deep. Let's see. Alex Murdaugh. Let's try this one.
My wife and child got badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road.
Stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
Hello?
I'm still here. Stay on the line. I'm still here, okay? Carlton, I have an Alex Murdock on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot. Mr. Murdock, go ahead and talk to Carlton.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it.
Yeah, he does have that kind of like writ in the back.
Communication. Carlton, I have an Alex Murdock on the line.
Yeah, I want to know why the video isn't offered. Why they've only put the audio out. But I mean, I'm sure the video will probably end up getting released. Let's look it up and see, because they play the video in court, and what I'm noticing happening is that by the end of the day or the next day, the stuff that was actually in evidence is released. So that they play the audio. I mean, they play the video in the courtroom. So we should have the actual video. But it's not gonna be facing any of them if it's facing the dog, right? So I wonder what it captures in the background. This is not a fair comparison. Yeah. But even when we heard him talking to Buster and his brother on the phone, he just has a little bit more of a high pitch that goes in there. This reminds me. This reminds me of the corn rake killer. The whole thing does. The whole thing. If these people had been killed with the corn rake, I would not be surprised. I mean, that's how close I think these cases are. So there's too many different facts that prove guilt. If not individually, they add up way past my threshold of guilt. So this is kind of what I'm waiting for, is like when I asked the other day, what's going to be like this bombshell that makes everybody say this man is guilty? The Snapchat video or audio was supposed to be it. So I can kind of see where they're going, you know, with the third voice, now that I've listened to it over and over again with you guys, because when I first heard it, I was like, I didn't only heard two. But now that I'm listening to it like on my computer, I definitely tell that there's the other voices are further back. Michelle, do you think it sounds like Alec or Alec? Like like his cousin was calling him Alec?
Yeah, I do. I just think because of maybe the situation, his voice might have been a little bit more either pitched, maybe, or I don't know. Just altered because of what was going on, maybe. I don't know. I can't help it. I still hear him a little bit in there.
You do think it's him then?
I do. It check chat T. Mob Crew did a comparison with the audio, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Someone dropped it in chat too. But I don't know if you want to play it. I didn't listen to it yet, though.
How long is it? Let me see.
I think it's only a few minutes.
Let me go over here.
It's 2 minutes and 27 seconds.
Okay.
And I'll drop Mob Crew's channel.
We like the Mob Crew.
Yeah, he's awesome. Chris is amazing. And he's so cool with letting everybody use his stuff. And thank you guys for recommending that in chat.
Hey, brother.
Okay, hold on.
There's a chicken. Hey, brother. There's a chicken. Catch. Quick.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. So the video that was taken by Paul Murdock at the kennels at approximately 8:44 p.m., which is 50 seconds long, was supposedly recorded just minutes before him and his mother Maggie were shot and killed. But in the video, according to the prosecution, you can hear Paul, Maggie, and a third voice, Alex Murdaugh, in the background. Now the problem is, Alex Murdaugh said that he was not at the kennels during this time and was at the home over 350 yards away. I'm going to play the whole video one time, which you can hear multiple voices along with some animals in the background. After that, I will take some samples of Murdaugh's voice and do a voice match comparison. And the results I found are going to be shocking.
Hey, got burgers now.
Hey, brother.
It's a kitty.
There's a chicken. Catch. Quick. There's a chicken.
He was off today.
Catch. Quick.
He was off today. He was off today.
Catch.
He was off today. He was off today. He was off today. He was off today.
Unless the timing on the recording is off, it does sound like Alex Murdaugh to me saying, get him off, and the jury just heard that audio today. So let me know in your thoughts in the comments down below what you think. Please smash that like button, share this video with a friend. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Yepers. That's Alex's voice to me.
You think so? Yeah, police audio is better comparison because Snapchat mic is better than a phone mic. I have no doubt that is his voice.
Maybe Teresa.
Okay, so for somebody who doesn't use Snapchat, can anybody tell me, can you record a video and upload it to Snapchat?
Oh, you know what? I didn't think of that.
I don't even know if you can.
Because Snapchat mic is better than a phone call. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Snapchat myself. Mallory says she thinks so. She says, I know you can with photos. Thank you, CB Kel. Hey, Brett.
I mean, they should be able to tell that with the phone, though. If you know how when that video was actually taken on the phone, they should be able to tell though that when the video was taken on the phone. And if I remember correctly, there's the text messages that go along.
You're breaking up, baby.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I still?
You sound good now. You broke up a little bit.
I'm wondering. You should be able to tell though. Based on there's a conversation in text messages asking him to take these photos.
Oh, there you go again.
Am I really?
Yeah, it's like you go out.
Oh, that's weird.
So it kind of cuts off what you're saying.
Well, I haven't done anything different.
You're fine now. So keep going. I'll tell you if it happens again.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that they would know that. And based on the conversation of asking him to take a video of the dog.
Right, Elizabeth. Yes. Yes.
Right,
he's hyped up.
This is a great point. Is that why he takes Paul's phone? But why doesn't he delete it then? The phone is still active. And the other thing is like this guy that's on the stand, he talks about like the movements of the phone, and there's like no movement on his phone either. After what was it? I think it's 8:49. What were they doing with the dog? There was something on the dog's tail that they were trying to get a picture of to figure out what they were going to do to fix it. This is what I've read. So if I'm incorrect, somebody in chat definitely correct me. If he deleted it after it was sent, it would look more suspicious. True.
And doesn't Snapchat delete itself after 24 hours? I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I think that's like something, like that's one of the settings that Snapchat does have. Is that correct, Mallory? Okay.
That sounds right to me.
Just like that one other app, the messages.
That's a different case, Canadian Wolverine.
But everything can be saved. Okay.
That's the Lisa Snyder case.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So we're all in agreement that there is definitely 3 voices, 2 male, 1 female, and that, okay, so we're going to do a little mini poll. 1, it's Alec. 2, it's potentially somebody else as that 3rd voice. 1 is Alec's voice.
Yeah, I'm a oneer.
You're a oneer? That it is Paul's voice. Hi, Rainbow Mom. Ooh, Commander Ender Turkey's not sure. Could be somebody else's. Hi, Yas daughter.
Oh, hey, Rainbow Mom. Oh, you have a good day at work. We love you back.
Ender Turkey, I think you're the only one with the 2.
Yeah.
Doesn't delete if you save it, but yes, you can set so that the non-saved conversation deletes after 24 hours. Ooh, Red Eye is a 1-2. Maybe. I have no comparative voice for Paul, so I say no. It is
What's the matter, Joe? You gave up?
See, because it is a strong draw right there. Okay, bye, Shay. Thank you.
Have a good day, Shay. You have a good day. Thank you.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, I have one other big question for all of you guys who follow this case so thoroughly. There's this big talk about the T-shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to go back and find my thing that I had for the T-shirt. Here it is. There we go. So supposedly what I was reading was that the information about this T-shirt was somehow like leaked, and that there was conversations with some of this paperwork that talks about that Alec had blood spatter on his white T-shirt, and that the report supposedly said that the blood spatter was consistent with the spray from shooting the shotgun, I believe it was. Oh, is this a forensic question you have? Is it really? Oh, awesome. So I'm struggling because, as we've talked about, you can't. Most of the people who saw him that night say that he did not have any blood on him, right? Bye, Connie. So they spray it, and it does have these spots on there. Let me see if I can pull up a different photo too. So this is the shirt before. This is when it's sprayed, and it has, you can see this like coming off of here. And then you have the picture where you see all the drops of blue, which is reacting to the blood on the shirt. They cut it, so this is the shirt when it's cut. Now, the product that they use to spray it over amount of time makes it so that makes it so that the entire shirt ends up being blue. So they're trying to say that like the evidence is contaminated. So you see like basically everything is like blue.
Right. Oh.
So this says like there's over 100 stains consistent with back spatter from the gunshot.
Wow.
Hi, Marcy. Hi, Dominic. So this is my question. I'm not 100% on the shirt yet. I haven't done enough research of my own into why they're really trying to make sure this does not get into evidence, obviously. But there seems to be some contention on whether this blood is wipe-off blood, like that he wiped it on himself, or if it is the back spatter from the gunshot. So I'm really confused on why we don't see anything. I mean, some of those spots are really small. I mean, and you don't really see him in the body cams.
Yeah.
Let me see what else there was on the shirt. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought about this. What do you think about this shirt situation? The shirt will be his downfall if it gets in. I'm confused on it. Yes, I'm confused on the shirt. That's not enough blood if he attempted to turn Paul over. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I don't see how there wouldn't be, even if it was where he like wipes his hand or whatever, if he's turning him over, he's probably using both of his hands, right?
He would have to. He would have to.
So I'm really not understanding the whole thing with the shirt.
And that that looks like a handprint, right? Like a rubbed hand.
It almost does. But if it's the back spatter from
Yeah.
But then, okay, so the first few days of testimony, which is one of the reasons that I am so confused on the shirt, is they talk about the one woman testified that it looked like he had just changed his clothes, like he was fresh from the laundry.
Right. Yep.
So how is that?
Now I'm even
had all this blood on it.
Right.
Is it because it was dark? They didn't see it?
Makes it even more confusing.
And this is like kind of tucked in around his pants? So, but either way, how could he have looked like he was fresh from the laundry? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't, like, at all. I mean, I could absolutely see him possibly like grabbing his shirt, or even, you know, like guys are constantly pulling at their pants and whatnot. So in that area, it could seem right, and him just having, you know, basic blood on his hands. But I don't see anything.
And he just keeps like touching his stomach?
You know, like maybe just he had to maybe his shorts or whatnot were falling down a little bit, and maybe went to grab it, or maybe he had a belt on or something, and or look, maybe had his hand towards his hip but touched his stomach by accident, or
this area right here. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and guys use their shirts for things. You know how they are. They like wipe
his face.
Oh goodness. Oh, that's actually.
That was the other thing they said too, was that you that his shirt wasn't wet even though he was sweating.
And Mallory says you can't see it in the first video either. Huh.
The one in the car? You can't see it in the car. Is that the one you're talking about?
Maybe because he's sitting and the way he's sitting, maybe. Maybe the shirt's folded in. I'll change it this way. I'm with you, LFT.
Yeah, so I'm just, I thought maybe I wanted to know if you guys were confused
Wait,
about
T, is that a company shirt? Like Elizabeth is saying? Or it could, if it's a company shirt? Can we see that?
We saw the logo. I didn't even pay attention to what the logo was.
Like she said, he could own a few of them, but it's still from the one detective, right? She said that he was completely clean. It was different patterns, though, from top to bottom. Okay.
What does it say? I can't even tell what it says.
Yeah, Joe, he half was spatter, half was possible transfer, I believe.
That makes me laugh.
I think he did it just to get the like, you know, the divorce. And now he's got the divorce. He's like, nah, now I'm definitely retiring. Toodles.
He needed to retire.
Can't take a loss.
Yeah, I can't tell what that shirt says. I don't know. I'm still just really confused on the whole thing. So I guess we'll wait until there's more witnesses, and then we can talk more about the shirt. And maybe we'll have some answers.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you guys that are caught up on the trial, so today, you know, they still got the phone guy up there, and he's talking about that at 9:06, that Maggie's phone was turned from portrait to landscape back to portrait.
Right.
And that they're trying to make it like that's when he would have thrown the phone out. Wonder what you guys think of that.
Yeah.
See if you can get a good picture of it. Marianne wants to send it to a girl we know that's a vet. Tell him to sit and stay, and he shouldn't move around too much. I think Marshall was saying that the girlfriend's name starts with an M. That's suspicious. I'm curious why, if he took Paul's phone out of his pocket, right? Why doesn't Paul's phone have any activity then? Why would it be? And what's the purpose of taking Maggie's phone and throwing it, but not taking Paul's phone and throwing it? Why? What would be the purpose? What's the motive of that? Somebody tell me. The guy says that the phone expert guy says that the phones do not look like they're moving together, so the phones are definitely in different spots. It's a great question. They said they could narrow down the exact spots on these phones. It should be pretty easy to figure out where his phone was when he used it, right?
Right.
Because they made it so that they knew that the conversation that Paul was having where he was standing in front of the building with the red roof. I just don't know what would be the purpose of throwing the phone out.
It doesn't make any sense, especially if he did nothing with Paul's.
I definitely think this guy is not a good dude. I don't think he's a good dude at all. He's morally corrupt. But did he kill his wife and kid is kind of where I'm at. If you take all the other stuff out of it, did he actually do this crime? And I know you can't take all the other stuff out because then you're looking at some of the things that people consider would be his motive. To stage the scene. Why not take her phone? Why not take his phone? Why just hers?
Maybe just once again, another thought he was smart on the job and failed. I'm kind of with Amber on this one to cause some confusion. Yep, exactly. Like two separate weapons. Yep.
Well, it works because I am confused. I'm confused on the two weapons. There was a commenter who actually commented under my last live and had a theory that makes a lot of sense to me about the two guns. That basically one of them was supposed to be the target, right? Takes the shotgun, kills the person who's the target, which would be Paul. And then Paul had his gun, the 300 Blackout, has his gun, and then Maggie shows up there, isn't supposed to be there, or is a surprise, so he takes Paul's gun and shoots Maggie because he doesn't have time to reload the shotgun. I thought that was an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
Ender Turkey, this is also where I'm at. So this dude couldn't even unalive himself. How's he going to unalive other people? 300 Blackout, drink. I got really tired. I'm not a big gun person. Like, I don't know a ton about like all the different things, which you'd think I would. But I'll tell you, when I was doing ballistics in my forensics classes, it was like the worst time of my life. That was terrible. I was like, I could never ever get into the ballistics industry because I would fail.
He said it was the most miserable time of my life. Well, tell us how you really feel.
Like how it just, because there's so many guns and there's so much ammo and there's so many different things that happen with the ammo, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster.
So many different directions.
Listening to the testimony for like a day and a half of them just talking about the guns, I was like, well, yeah, Joe, I learned that. I learned that. I learned that a day and a half of testimony. I was like, okay, that's powerful. And then she was shot so many times with it. But it made more sense to me after learning that about, because when we looked at the trajectory of her wounds, it made more sense to me how they were kind of all over the place because of the power behind those shots. Her body, that would have been part of her movement, as she was being hit, and how those things.
Yeah.
Oh, Mallory agrees with that theory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I do have one more question before we move on, before we end this, because then I got to go pick up kids from school. My last question, which I've not dug into, which is why I'm asking you guys, is about this tarp/raincoat that was supposedly found at his parents' house.
Okay.
The shirt and this tarp raincoat situation is really where I'm at with my trying to figure things out.
Well, what's the...
So supposedly there's a witness that said they saw him carry what looked like a tarp and put it behind his parents' house. It ended up that I guess it was a raincoat, and that the raincoat was covered in GSR.
Oh,
so the assumption is that he carried the weapons in this raincoat and then later on got rid of the weapons.
Huh. Okay.
Ooh, ATS, yes, please send it to me. Oh, okay. Paul's friend is on the stand. It's his dog named Cash that is in the kennel. He just testified that he heard Maggie and Alex on the phone with Paul.
Oh.
Night for night, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
And the whole time the dog's name was Cash.
CB Cal, yes, they can tell. They'll be able to tell all of that, how far the person was away for each shot, everything. I can double watch. Well, I'm not watching that. I'll watch it when I get off. I don't know how he walked up to even touch a phone based on Paul's state when found, let alone try to turn him over. I don't think he did touch Paul's phone. I maybe he did, and he was like, I wanted to do something with it, and then I realized I couldn't. Oh, True Crime Crazy? I don't know. I didn't. Oh, hold on. Ah, shoot. I just hit the wrong button. Okay, hold on. What timestamp? 21 minutes.
21 minutes.
Let's listen to this real quick. So, yeah, those are my two big questions. Is about
Chandler, what else can you tell us about this motion to exclude this evidence?
Yeah, Vinny, that's what the defense wants us to think in these motions, the state not responding in full, but we have a motions hearing. Hopefully tomorrow we'll learn more. This is so fascinating to me. I really am a little bit of a nerd about the forensics in a case here. But this T-shirt, it was a white T-shirt Alec Murdaugh was wearing the night his wife and son were murdered. A big point of contention. This motion today wants a second expert, a second blood pattern expert's opinion about spatter on that shirt to be excluded. Here's part of this expert's opinion about that white shirt. It says the front of the white T-shirt contains what appears to be transfer and spatter from stains. The lower and larger stains are not spatter of any speed, but transfer from another object. The smaller stains that are present after treatment with LCV appear to be high velocity. So part of the shirt, according to the expert, is high velocity back spatter from the firing of a weapon. It was treated with this LCV, and that's a point of contention also. The court documents say that LCV is a leucocrystal violet, another presumptive test for blood, kind of like luminol, in which hemoglobin catalyzes the oxidation of LCV to a purple color. So it would turn this white shirt purple or this dark blue color to show that the stains are presumed to be blood. It's not a confirmation of blood, but presumptive test that those spatter stains are blood, again, from firing a weapon. Now, the defense takes issue because in court documents it says the side effect of this LCV testing is that it effectively destroys the shirt. As we see in those pictures, the entire shirt turns purple with all details that bleed into large diffuse splotches. And SLED, the law enforcement division here in South Carolina, could have conducted that same test with luminol, which would not have destroyed the shirt. SLED chose to save a slight amount of effort at the expense of destroying this piece of evidence. Now, Vinny, further, because of this LCV method, and this is what I expect to hear from the prosecution in response tomorrow, that they will have experts to show that that LCV prevents the hemotrace confirmation test that stain is blood. So ultimately, this defense motion is saying because they can't say for sure that it's blood on that shirt, then the spatter is irrelevant. It should all be kicked out, according to the defense. But we expect more answers from the prosecution. So hopefully that breaks it down and makes a little more sense.
Well, it does. First, you've got to establish that it's blood before you can say it's blood spatter stain, right? So I get where they're going. This is a big, big issue, it seems. How about the DNA tests on the shirts? What did that show?
This is also very revealing. We broke it down because they took several clippings of this shirt and tested it for DNA. Now, DNA can be more than just blood, right? It can be different forms of DNA. So here's the breakdown of this white shirt, again, that Alec Murdock was wearing when at least the police responded after the 911 call. So the back of the shirt, the cuttings from the back of the shirt, positive for Maggie's DNA, Paul's DNA excluded. The front bottom hem cutting of this shirt, the first cutting, was positive for Paul's DNA, Maggie's DNA excluded. The second cutting, again from the bottom hem, positive for Maggie, Paul's DNA excluded. And then the upper front portion cutting of this shirt was positive for Maggie's DNA. Paul is either excluded or not considered because of his relatedness to the other contributors in that sample. But remember, when we played the sound coming into this segment, Vinny, and Dick Hartwillian was saying, Paul's DNA is excluded. Well, that's the portion of the shirt that the experts think is blood spatter. And the spatter part of that shirt, Vinny, would have been when the alleged murderer was shooting Paul. So that's the conflict here. The back spatter would be from the shots of Paul, would have been close enough to cause the spatter on the shirt. But in that cutting where these 100 plus mist stains of back spatter are, Paul's DNA is excluded. But it is on other parts of the shirt.
Not the perfect case for prosecutors. That's what I'm hearing from you, Chanley. That's what I'm hearing. All right, Chanley Painter.
Okay. Hi, 1960. Okay.
Hello.
So basically, most of the stuff that's around the waist is transfer.
Uh-huh. I don't like that.
The other part that they think is the back spatter is the wrong DNA for the back spatter to be there. It should be Paul's DNA if it is back spatter. Well, if this does get in, the defense could have a heyday with that. If that's how that is, thank you, ATS, for sending this. What a flippin' mess. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not feeling that there's a conviction coming yet. I don't feel like there's a got him moment. We'll see, I guess. I heard someone ask if AM bought something from Gucci for a possible girlfriend of his, and I about wet my shoes. Just made me giggle. Well, there's the rumors that he did have girlfriends, and that's where all the money is going. So well, basically they're saying it is blood, or it is DNA. It is DNA. Why else would he have this random DNA in these spots? And it's in the shape of back spatter from the gunshot to Paul. But it's not Paul's blood, it's Maggie's. Well, the way that the wounds are, they'll be able to tell us exactly how close of range he was shot. I don't know. All right, bring in those girlfriends. I just don't even know. I don't even know if there are any, but I guess maybe.
Okay. I agree, Brett. There's not too much strong.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the super strong case that I thought was going to be presented based on everybody telling me how guilty he is.
Yeah. I knew nothing about this case, and I was sold prior to even looking at any trial day one highlight or whatever. I was sold that he was guilty. Now, after watching what I've watched and just learning what I have through these lives, I agree. I don't see nothing solid so far. There's just a ton of reasonable doubt for me.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to the trial, go pick up kids. But thank you guys. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. I know that you guys have 1,000 other things that you have to do during your day, and yet you choose to still come and hang out with me and Michelle.
Yeah, we love you.
Love you guys. I'm sensing hung jury unless they can bring in a witness, cam footage of him lying about alibi, or a hired hitman. They're going to need something else. And I think it was either LFT or Marshall. Somebody up above said, it's the totality of the evidence, which is what it has to be. So, I mean, we're looking at bits and pieces, obviously. So they have a long way to go before they are done presenting why they think he's guilty. So we can't, if the jury had to go right now, there's no way I think the jury could find him guilty.
Okay.
I always choose you over other stuff. Thanks, Mal.
We love you too, Mallory.
We're not done. I mean, they're not done, I should say. We're just waiting for what else they can bring, but I don't know. It's gonna be based on whether the jury wants to believe that is Alec's voice and that he was there.
Yep. That's going to determine.
We got a lot more experts that are going to come up still, but the phone guy is going to be a big one, in my opinion. But then you got to think, you got the defense that's going to go, and the defense still has a ton of their own experts. All right, I will see you guys. I don't even know what my plan is. I know that Michelle's working on a timeline for a case that we're going to cover really soon.
Yep.
Before that trial starts. The other big trial that I was waiting for in January was the Cal City Boys, Orrin and Orson Sincere and Classic. And their trial got pushed off to March. Tentatively. There's another status hearing in February, so that one's not happening now. But we've got a few things in the works for you guys. So we'll see you guys soon, and thank you for being here.
Got some fun stuff. We love you guys.
All right, we'll see you the next time.
Bye.